4th down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws it, incomplete. The Buckeyes win.
Ezekiel Elliott, and he's got an opening. Elliott off to the races. Can they catch him?
Feature the two backs as receivers, and now a downfield shot on first down for the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first. Making the judgments again, and there is Smith running free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly from 45 yards. Pressure comes. Sword, knock it out, and picks it up. Jackson coming down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards.
Here they come.
Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. Jeremiah Smith. 2025 college football national champion, Coach Ryan Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Welcome in, Buckeye backers. We are bringing it to you live from Seattle, Washington, to the cornfields of Enid, Ohio. We are the pulse of Buckeye fans across the nation, with Seattle Matt and Buckeye Steve. What is up, Buckeye backers? It is college football season now. Big Ten Media Days is concluded, so it's time to ramp it up, have a little fun, and enjoy. We're going to have practices in a week to go to. Get to check that out. Alex, are you planning on joining those practices, man?
Nah, not these ones, but I can't wait to hear about them. It's finally time. It's finally time. It felt like yesterday. It felt like yesterday we ended it. But
I know, watching that intro and seeing that Jeremiah Smith grab in the national title game, it's like, dude, that just happened. How did we have the whole offseason and we're back to football again?
And then I see that 2002 clip, and I'm like, man, we used to watch TV that looked like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oof.
I mean, it's harder when you put it back on here and grab it from somewhere else, but it is grainy. Yeah, that was life in real time before
real time.
Internet. It was like
crazy
dial-up. Crazy stuff. But I was at Big Ten Media Days. It was an absolute blast. And by blast, I mean, it is a grind, man. You get there, it's Vegas, so there's all kinds of stuff going on. You're walking through a hotel room. I was completely on the opposite side. Like, I had to walk, it felt like 2 miles to get to the convention center, but I was in the same building, because everything's all connected, and it's MGM, so they own everything. But it was a blast. I was getting coffee in the morning, the first morning. Some guys asking me directions. I was like, we got to walk all the way across the whole casino floor, man. And after he asked me for directions, he was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. My name's Matt Castle. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. What's up, dude? You didn't have to introduce yourself.
Right. I stayed at the MGM when I went to Vegas. It's a really nice hotel. So that's a pretty solid spot for them to have that, for sure.
I mean, it was nice. Everything about it. I mean, some people will complain about it. You'll talk to Franklin, and he was pissed about not being in an area where fans could be there to ask for autographs, that his beat wasn't there, but the Ohio State beat traveled well. They were sure there, and most of them for all 3 days too. Yep. So I think you're right. It's not something that needs to happen every year, but keep Vegas in the rotation, baby. Keep Vegas in.
I
had a good time.
Don't put the Big Ten title game there. Keep that in Indianapolis for selfish purposes. Keep it there. Yeah,
I'd be okay with it. You could put it into a rotation of like once every 5 to 10 years.
It'll probably
happen. Cool with that. It's going to happen. I mean, Vegas is going to put some money into it, and if they do, they're going to win a bid.
Yep.
I mean, they want it there. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a trip there. Let's be honest.
For sure.
As long as it's not regular, I'm good with it. But
yeah,
that's beyond. We got so much to get to. The first thing I wanted to start off with is, let's get into it. The defensive line. That's what everyone wants to know about. Second maybe is quarterback, and I don't know, maybe they're tied 1A, 1B, and I'm probably lying. It's probably quarterback first and then D-line. So, but I'm starting with D-line because that's the most interesting to me. Kenyatta Jackson was mentioned by both JJ as being a first rounder, and I think it was
Sonny Styles.
Yeah. Sonny Styles mentioned him, and I didn't get to see Sonny Styles, and that's one of my ultimate, like, I'm pissed off about that. I wish I could have been in there with the interview for Sonny Styles, but all the players were on at the exact same time. So you either had to bounce around and lose your spot or stick in one place. And I chose to stick in one place and stick with JJ. And I think that was an ultimate win on my part.
Yeah, they also talked about Will Smith Jr. as well.
Yes, that was one I wanted to bring up too.
Stepping up in a big way. You know, when you think back to spring, and they expressed the concerns with the depth at the D line, which obviously is an issue.
Styles did too.
Yeah, but now you're starting to hear some optimism out of Day. I think that's for a multitude of reasons. I think for the obvious reason that guys are just stepping up. Like a Will Smith Jr. And B, I think it has a lot to do with Matt Patricia. You know, the last 2 or 3 years with Jim Knowles, we heard about some friction between him and Larry Johnson. And I formulated my own opinion. I thought maybe Knowles' defense held Larry Johnson's unit back. And it's starting to sound like Matt Patricia is really allowing these defensive linemen to do what they need to do. And I've said it before, I really think that this defensive line unit is going to be one of the most productive we've had in quite some time. And especially our defensive ends. No slight to JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer, but I think the ones that we got now are going to be able to be more productive than those two ever were because of Matt Patricia being the defensive coordinator. So
yeah, and I think where that stems from is you look at that first year under Jim Knowles, they still gave up all those big plays, and he freaked the fuck out, man. He was like, no, we're not giving up those plays anymore. Remember that Georgia game? That defense was atrocious.
Yeah.
That defense was atrocious. And those losses they had that year, they had a great offense. So he's like, it is not going to fall on my shoulders. Because, I mean, we're all, let's be honest, we're a little conceited, and we think everything of ourselves. You got to listen to that, especially when you get to those big ranks in college football on a national level. Dude was like, it's not happening anymore. I'm not letting that happen. He went all the way the other direction. It was like, I'm never blitzing.
Yep. And then it was too conservative.
Back to D-line. And then they had to. I mean, after that Oregon game, the defense had to implode and change. And they had to dial up some pressures.
Absolutely.
Because, you're not going to give up many yards when you're never blitzing. Because you're not going to give up the big plays, the chunk plays, but you're going to keep teams in the game that shouldn't be in the game when you can pound them to the ground and out-athlete them. And I think you're absolutely right, and you're onto something there. But both Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs, they both mentioned Kenyatta Jackson being a first-rounder. And I think it's just amazing, man, because that's one thing we were waiting on. Kenyatta Jackson, when's he going to arrive? When's he going to carry the water? And he's carrying the water this year. So watch out.
Yeah, you could see the talent when he was out there, but obviously he wasn't getting the reps because Jack Sawyer, JT were out there. And just adding Matt Patricia into the mix, I really think that Kenyatta Jackson's going to pop off. I think we're not going to see the depth. The depth will still be an issue with the defensive line, but like I said, I think you're going to see a very much more productive defensive line this year because of Matt Patricia, and Kenyatta Jackson is going to be the biggest exploder because of that. He's going to come out there and prove why he looks like a first round, defensive end. So I'm excited to see it for sure.
Yeah. When a couple of people are mentioning Will Smith too, like that's amazing. That's what
warms my heart. I was
Styles also mentioned Tywan Malone. It's time for him to carry water too. I mean, that time's coming. What no one's mentioning, and I have no idea why, because every time I've seen him on the field, I've absolutely loved it. Caden Curry. Where is the Caden Curry love? His motor is awesome. All right. And I know we have Bo, but and that's their focus because he comes in from North Carolina and spurs the Belichick system is like, yo, I want to get something bigger and better. And when you have Belichick coming in, how do you want to get bigger and better? You come to Ohio State.
Yeah, Bo Atkinson, I don't even think he's talked about that much, to be honest with you, and he should be. I mean, he was a great player for North Carolina.
Oh, absolutely.
He brings a lot of experience to the table that we could use in a year like this where we just lost a lot of experience. So that was definitely a great get in the portal. But yeah, Caden Curry, anytime he's been in, I agree with you. I've seen nothing but a dog production.
I've loved everything I've seen. Everything I've seen.
And a lot of times I would be telling myself, God, I wish he was in right now, because I think he would be more disruptive, and we need that, So he'll definitely be on the field a lot. I think Larry's going to have a lot more freedom to rotate, which is going to pay dividends for everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's going to allow guys to get playing time that in the past 3 years in Knowles' system probably wouldn't have gotten playing time. So that's definitely going to benefit everybody, especially Larry Johnson's psyche, because I'm sure he's been losing his mind.
I don't know that Larry Johnson likes to rotate as much as some others do.
Yeah.
Especially, every other position group. We talked to him, and he was like, it's on me to put the guy out there to be ready. Like, I'm not going to just play someone just to play someone to get experience.
Yeah.
And I agree with it to some extent, but to another extent, I'm like, how are you going to get better? You have to get out there and play ball against the best of the best to get better. So in mop-up duty, get those guys out there. Let them make their mistakes and learn from it. I mean, that's the best way, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's something I've said ad nauseum for at least the last 2 or 3 years is, not just the position coaches, but Ryan Day in general. You're building at least 2 years out. If you're coaching correctly, you're building at least 2 years out. And that requires getting guys reps. And that's something that Day has to be better at, because
especially with a quarterback.
Yeah, if we had gotten Sand, some more reps last year, we'd be in a way better spot right now. Or even Kindholz, we'd be in a way better spot right now at that position than we would be. We are now. So
100% on board with that.
Yeah.
But, speaking about the best of the best, we got to talk about the best of the best. And that man is Jeremiah Smith. He was even asked, are you the best? Point blank. Hey, dude, are you the best wide receiver in college football? He said, yeah. But then they asked why. And he was like, I don't know. You tell me. And I was like, that was the best mic drop I've ever heard in my life. And I think it was more awkward. It may not have been because he was like, I think he just didn't know what to say. So he was like, you tell me, man. It was either that or it was the ultimate mic drop where like, I know I'm the best. You describe me. I didn't read it either way.
Yeah, Jeremiah
he's pretty
Smith.
Humble.
Yeah, he's a mix, right?
Shit at the same time.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that he's a perfect mix of humble, but he knows who he is.
And that's the picture and video I took. So I was sitting there right there, front row with him, and it was cool. It was cool to see his interactions, and he's gonna get better at talking in public over time, and being a leader to the team too over time. So
it's great to breathe the same air as him, isn't it? Don't you just feel like greater as a person when you're around him?
Well, I mean, it's always good to surround yourself with excellence, right?
Yeah, and he is
being around excellence as far as the football team's concerned. I'm certainly around that constantly.
Absolutely.
But some of the other things he said, he was like, "That was last year's title. That was, Emeka Buka's title." Dude, you had one of the best freshman stat lines in the entirety of all of Buckeye football. I mean, the only one that we can talk about in that same breath is Maurice Claret, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that seems to be the message from everybody on this team, including Ryan Day, right? I mean, Ryan Day said it himself. We aren't the defending champs of anything. We're the attacking champs. We're attacking another one. I love that mentality.
That mindset. Yeah, I love it. I'm with you. It's perfect. And
first time I've ever heard it from anybody really either. So
but that's
I'm just
where
like,
they are right now too.
Yeah.
They lost so much. 2 coordinators. They lost 14 guys to the NFL draft, and then 3 of them were immediately picked up on free agency.
Yep.
And they just won a national title. They have 3 guys returning on the defense. That's it.
Yep.
And everyone's looking at them kind of under the radar. They're in that perfect position to go on attack. They're in that pouncing position. They're like a cheetah in the background, or a tiger or lion in the background, and those tall weeds just waiting for the kill. And as soon as that gazelle, takes one wrong step, they're after him, man.
And a lot of people don't realize it, especially on the defensive side of the ball, but there are positions that we're actually upgraded from last year from.
Yeah.
Like no slight to Cody Simon. What a great linebacker he was, but Arvell Reese is a pretty good overall upgrade as far as talent and speed and size and all that good stuff. And like
Sonny
Jermaine
Styles, that's stunning. Yeah. We'll get to Jermaine Matthews because we got to talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
But Sonny Styles is underrated in himself. Like,
he's yoked.
Dude, I call him the quiet assassin. He is huge.
Yeah.
He had 100 tackles and 6 sacks last year, and no one talked about the 100 tackles. He just switched from safety.
Him plus Arvell Reese.
And add
him
Arvell
plus
Reese.
Arvell Reese.
I mean, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles look about the same size.
Yeah.
And dude, do not take away from Sonny Styles. Dude is a monster, a beast, and he is going to have a good year. The second year in the system, he's ready for it, right?
Yep, absolutely. I think Arvell Reese is ready for it too. Both of them are gonna feast this year.
Jermaine Matthews, Downs brought it up. He said Jermaine Matthews is elite. I've said it before in the past. When I watch him, that's a first round talent.
Yeah.
When I watched him break up balls in that student appreciation scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. And then you saw he went from nothing to something on the recruiting trail. And all of a sudden it was like, boom, Jermaine Matthews is someone we need. And I was watching him in those 7-on-7s when he was being recruited. I was like, oh man, this guy's locking up everyone. And that's hard to do in the 7-on-7. And in those environments where it's just you on an island, there's nothing else happening. You have no help over the middle. It's just you taking on the best of the best. And he balled out. He's going to ball out at Ohio State, dude. He is going to end up being one of the best corners at Ohio State, maybe of all time.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, when he got playing time, he made the most of it. And as great as Denzel Burke was, I think Jermaine Matthews is that much better. So,
he's an absolute upgrade. Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't want to discount Burke because he's good. I mean, he's in the
Burke
NFL. I can't
great.
complain about it. But
Jermaine Matthews is better.
He's gonna be the elite of the elite. Just give it time. Give it time, my friends.
I'm not worried about the only thing I'm worried about on defense is the defensive line. And if that shapes out, top 3 defense minimum.
Yeah. Period. And it sounds like it is. What I think happened with the defensive line, now that you brought me back to it, I think Day was just trying to get people going. I think the whole thing, he was trying to mind fuck them. He was saying, all right, you guys better show me something or I'm going out and getting somebody. And it worked. He used an Urban Meyer technique to motivate the guys to get a little bit better. They got bigger, they got faster, they got stronger. And it sounds like Will Smith Jr. is the one that's going to take the benefit to that. He's going to get some playing time this year.
I hope.
I don't know. We haven't seen much from Eric Menza other than in that scrimmage. He was playing balls to the wall. Alfred was playing balls to the wall, playing great too. So those guys are still there, bits and pieces to get some playing time too. But let's get on today. What the things that he was saying, you touched on it a little bit. He said there's still a quarterback competition. I don't agree with that. I think it's Julian Saint's job to lose.
Right.
And the only thing that's going to change that is pressure and maybe Keenholt's getting some packages in the running game because he is such an athlete. But Saint's got the ball. He's got the arm to get the ball where it needs to be to elite receivers. He doesn't have a huge downfield threat. Maybe he's developing that, but it seems like he's got the locker room already. And Day said that's when he's going to announce when the locker room's there. So I think it's more of a timing issue now.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when Day did his interview with Colin Cowherd, and Cowherd asked him about Saint and basically was talking to Day like he had already chosen Saint as a starter. Day went along with it. He was just talking about Saint, and then he like thought and said, "Oh, well, there's Lincoln Keinholz too, and he's he had to add him a little bit after."
Keenholz, by the way.
Yeah, Keenholz. Yeah. He added him in a little bit later, but then like basically went back to talking about Julian. So it's him. And I'm a Packers fan, so I hold Aaron Rodgers near and dear to my heart. And I don't make this comparison lightly, but I do believe Julian Saint throws the ball a lot like Aaron Rodgers. And just the touch that he has, the release, the quick flick of the wrist, it's there. And I just, who can you start over that? I mean, the talent's there. We just need it to be, translate onto the field. And I think it will. I think at first you'll probably see like balls get batted down because he's listed at 6'1". He's not 6'1".
He's 6'1". He is.
There's no shot because I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's not taller than me, Steve. He's not taller than me.
He is.
I think he's 5. I think he's 5'11". But either way,
no, not at all. No, because I'm 5'10". He's definitely taller than me. And I saw him. I took the picture of him standing next to Keenholz, and Keenholz is 6'3", and there's not much difference. He grew. He said he grew an inch. When was that time that you thought he was that tall?
Was
that the student appreciation?
No, it was. I saw him there, but I've just been by him before too, and he's like right there on me, and I'm 6 foot, so I don't know. Hey, maybe the shoes. Maybe the shoes got him. I don't know.
Oh, you had those lift shoes on?
I don't have
6'2".
I'm
just giving you a hard time, dude.
But either way, I think there'll be some struggles early on, and having Texas week 1 doesn't help that matter any, especially when the opposing quarterback has a little more reps than he does. But yeah, it's a winnable game, and I think he's got the skill set to go make plays. And we don't need a superhero at quarterback. We've won 3 national titles with probably the most above average quarterbacks we've had in the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need him.
This would ordinarily be the point where I play a commercial, but I'm in holdout mode because I want more money. So we're not playing a commercial, and we'll see what happens before season starts. It's kind of negotiation phase, so we're gonna see what happens. I know. Gotcha. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm being stupid, but we'll find out.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk what Day said about Heartline. He said he hired Tyler Bowen for a reason. Because Heartline has that passing game experience. He's comfortable with Heartline there. They're going to run the same exact offense. But Bowen has that play calling experience from Virginia Tech. He can come in and be the run game coordinator along with the offensive line coach. So he's essentially a co-offensive coordinator. I found that interesting because it seemed like Heartline didn't like those questions when he got them earlier in the spring, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that was why that hire was made, and I'm okay with it. I mean, if Day doesn't feel like Heartline's 100% where he needs to be as a play caller, have a backup plan, because after what I saw last year, outside of 2 games that I don't even want to think about, I don't want Day to have to go back to play calling. With it out of his hands, he won a national championship. Not that Day can't, get us to a national championship calling plays himself. I just think it's better for him to not be the play caller and head coach. Let somebody else do that. You be the head coach. You facilitate things. And so if Tyler Bowen has to step in, he has to step in. Just don't make the same mistakes Urban Meyer did and let a guy call plays all season long that doesn't know how to.
Well, if you didn't already see it, we're transitioning to something else. And for those of you on audio, because I do forget sometimes on audio, we're going with what JJ said about the Michigan game. They hate us. We hate them. And, man, I just was like, if I couldn't like this guy anymore, I don't know how I couldn't like this guy anymore from stuff like that. I mean, it's like just when you thought it couldn't get any better, he pulls a stunt like this, and it is better. It's absolutely better. When he starts talking Michigan, I'm on board.
I like,
and he's guaranteeing the wins. Before that, he guaranteed, hey, I'm going to win. I'm not losing to Michigan again.
As much as I like the confidence, I hate that he's saying all of it, because we've seen our players do that the last few years. How has that worked out for us? You could talk the talk, but you got to be willing to walk the walk.
Oh, absolutely. So
go do it.
Michigan. If we're going to talk Michigan, we got to bring on the enemy himself.
Boo,
Like Germany's
boo.
The Michigan writer, the man that was at the Michigan spring game and thinks the world of Bryce Underwood.
Everybody does, right?
What's up, brother? Oh, you're muted still.
I got a question for you, Steve. How did Foster from UCLA do this time?
I actually left. I wasn't there for his. I do want to look that up, though. That was one of the things I didn't get to see his. Yeah, I left. I was gone for that.
Is LA still in California? That's what
Apparently so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
And
I think you pointed it out.
So is
4 or 5 times.
USC.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Just in case you didn't know that.
Good to know.
But then when we went off that, I mean, he's guaranteeing wins. He's saying they hate us, we hate them. It's going to be a rivalry. It's been a rivalry for over 100 years, and it's going to be there after I'm gone. I mean, the man understands it. It's hard for a wide receiver to completely change a game like that unless he has people around him that help him change the game. You look at last year, he had how many?
35 yards.
35 yards, 1 touchdown.
That wasn't his fault.
But not his fault. That was absolute game planning. We're going to get into that a little bit more, too, when we start talking about the Michigan side of things. But also, there was those 2 pass interference they had against them. I mean, you might as well count those as 2 15-yard catches, so now you're at 65 yards. And I don't think they targeted them the second half, really. No,
they didn't. Just like they only targeted him once in the national title game, which is another thing Dave's got to, keep in mind. Get your players the ball. Get your best playmakers. You have to
at least have, a tally mark. How many times has our best player touched the ball? Right. Or how many times have we even tried to get the ball?
There should honestly be one of those undergrad coaches on staff that just keeps track of that for Jeremiah Smith.
Absolutely.
And be hey coach, we got to get the ball more to 4.
He's got to touch at least 10 times a game.
At least.
I want 15. My goal is 15. Last year I had a mark of 12, and I keep track of it on Twitter. So every game this year I will be counting down to the 15. If he doesn't get 15, I'm mad.
All right? Can count that high?
15 targets. I haven't used my toes, but
make sure when you're doing that, you do it by half, because if he's not getting a good amount of touches in the second half, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is absolutely. And you know what Day said to this though, to the guaranteed wins? Day was like, if he says something, better believe it.
Well,
all right,
Day's got to back that up too.
That was not something I was expecting, man. That was some exuding confidence.
Well, the hope, right, is that winning this natty has just restored Day's confidence, not only in the people around him, but himself, so that he can be like, okay, if I just coach every game like I did that playoff run, I can beat anybody. And if he can do that and go up into Ann Arbor and get a win this year, finally get that monkey off his back that shouldn't be on his back to begin with. There you go. And if he wins one, I think he'll go on a win streak. I really do. But we'll see.
I would imagine so, but
we'll see.
That depends on what Jerome Moore and Michigan do. And it depends on what Derek Moore does, because Derek Moore was in there talking.
He was. I don't like all that talking.
Yeah, he was talky for sure. He this is. I put it up here. This is a graphic for those of you just listening. See y'all in November. We're gonna see, when referring to Jeremiah Smith's guaranteed wins. And then he goes on to talk about the national title. I congratulate them on the win, but it was not a real one if y'all didn't beat us. Ooh, I guess you have to hang on to something if you're 8-5, and beating your rival is the only thing you can hang on to.
Well, yeah, 23-point underdog. Beat him.
Yeah, I mean, that's great and all, but you try to make fun of a team that just won a national title. I mean,
I don't think you're making fun of them.
Even Drew Aller even said, they were the team. They did what every other team in the nation wanted to do. They won the national title, and you know what? Hoisting that trophy was better than planting the flag.
Sharon Moore said the same thing, but at least you don't have to worry about flag planting no more. That's done.
That's an easy thing to say when you're the home team.
Yeah, and it's also nice to see that they want to start acting like they've been there before. If they do win again, they're going to start acting like they've been there before.
I don't have anything with. I don't really have anything with
planting.
I do too. I mean, I think that's part of the rivalry. That's what makes the rivalry cool. And I think I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is when you start to get rushed. It's time to call it quits. You're on someone's home turf and you acknowledge that and realize, we did this. It's over. It's time to go to the locker room. And then,
well, no, the losing team should just walk off. They planted the flag. Big deal.
I hated that in
absolutely
2022
not. No.
Because
I mean,
I
you plant the
hated
flag
that.
on my field. I am
Yeah.
like they took it
Texas-
lightly. If
Texas
I would have been out there,
planted-
if I would have been part of that team, and you plant the flag on my field in dead center,
You had 60
Something's
minutes
happening.
to prove it. You had 60
Doesn't- it
you
minutes
better
to
bring
prove
more
it.
than pepper spray if
And
they're coming
20
after me.
You're gonna start crying because somebody planted their flag on your field.
Yes,
It's not
I'm not
crime.
gonna cry. I'm gonna come with some.
I'm gonna come
authority.
punch you in the face. I'm gonna take my helmet off and beat you
That's-
with it.
That's
No,
crying.
I would not do that
Put it
because
on
I
the
think that's
field.
just asinine. Why would you take your helmet off?
If
in
the
a fight when everyone
Wolverines-
else has got their helmet
If the
on?
Wolverines had came after Texas, I would have been like, good for them.
See, I like
Good.
the fact. I like the fact they didn't just walk
No,
off. You
no,
should have
no.
did it
I
on
mean,
the
We
field.
did that.
different.
We did that in 2022, and Wolverine fans called us soft for not doing anything about it. Now all of a
but
sudden it's a
half the
problem that
fan
we did.
bases on both teams are retarded. Oh,
No,
sorry.
no. It's different. All right. If you want to talk about Texas planting a flag or Oklahoma planting a flag, sorry, Oklahoma planting a flag in the middle of Ohio Stadium, completely different. Oklahoma's not a rival. They can get away
They're
with
just
that.
a team. Yeah, they're
They're
just
just
a
a
team.
team.
And I wanted
No
them
one
to beat the
cares.
crap out of Baker Mayfield when they did that.
Yeah. And people didn't like Baker Mayfield. They were like, whoa, can't believe he did that. But I would have done the same thing if I was Baker Mayfield. Boom.
I
going
told
And
I
if I
told
was
Twitter.
whoever the
I
hell
don't
did
know.
it for Michigan,
I
would've
got
done
no
it.
problem with it.
I got
If
no problem
Ohio
with
State
doing it.
wins this year, if Ohio State wins, I hope Sam just plants it in the
And
middle
I
of the end.
told Twitter, and you saw it. I said, I hope we butt scoot like a dog with crap on
I
their
saw that
ass
too. I like
all
that.
over. I would do that in a heartbeat. You don't have to take off your your football pants. Just butt scoot like a dog with crap on your ass.
No, I think you
I'd do it.
I think
And
you
I
pull
hope
it. You go
Michigan
back
just
in
walks
history.
off. I don't need to see that. If you can't win in the 60 minutes, they get to celebrate. Don't cry like a baby. And if Michigan doesn't have a problem with it.
I think here's the difference. If Ohio State does that and Michigan retaliates, Ohio State should clear out. It's their turf, man.
No,
Like,
Michigan should clear out.
No, you made your point. It's time to
Don't
leave.
cry
Like,
after
be the winner.
you lost.
That's no. That's
Don't cry
different.
after you lost. You had 60 minutes to win that game. Then you're gonna go out tough after.
The
Get
problem.
off the field.
The problem.
I don't care if it's Ohio State this year. Let them celebrate. Michigan get off the field. Let Ohio State plant the flag. You
I
did
completely
it.
disagree.
Don't cry.
You're
the
off
problem.
to
Be a
40
little
with
baby.
kids. Come on.
Get
man.
off the field.
The problem isn't with the flag planting. It's with the fact that they linger on and on afterwards.
Who cares?
Grandstand.
If
It's
Ohio
like,
State wants to stay there till Monday and party in the big house, go
who
ahead.
would want to
You won the
stay in
game.
that shit town till Monday?
You won the game. Do what
Let
you
me
gotta do,
change.
and
Let me
that's
change
it.
that. Let me change that. You'll probably have to stay there till Monday because those losers don't know what traffic control is. So you get stuck in that town after game day for hours anyway.
Listen, I go to that game and I get out in 15 minutes, so I have I
Bullshit.
don't know what you're talking about.
2019, it took me 3 hours to get out
Because you
because
don't know how to turn left.
the traffic doesn't
University of
move.
Ohio, you have one stop sign.
The
and
traffic
you keep
doesn't
running.
move because there's nobody directing traffic like
Because you
every
can't-
other place in the country.
It's because you have one stop sign in the state of Ohio.
There's a bunch of
Through.
there's a bunch of single brain celled organisms up there that don't know how to do anything right.
Listen. I go
Well,
to enough
hey,
games. We get out in 15
Beyond that,
minutes.
hey, there's more to talk about. Derek Moore also said they wouldn't have won if it weren't for playoff expansion. What? Like, how are you?
All
gonna
Wolverine
if, and,
fans
and
say
butt it?
that.
Who-
All
yeah,
Wolverine
who
fans say that.
cares?
Who cares?
That's not
it's
reality.
expanded. We knew
Yeah.
it was expanded before you won your asterisk title.
Listen,
knew that.
a natty, I said it before to everybody else, a natty's a natty. I don't care who. If it's 2
Mhm.
losses, 3 losses, it's going to, in 5 years, it could be 6-loss team winning it.
No,
Who knows what they're
absolutely
going to expand to? A natty's a natty. I don't like this whole one
Here-
natty means more, one natty doesn't mean more.
Here's the
I
thing
don't
about
care.
what Derek Moore said. I don't agree that it's not a real one because they beat us. But I've been on record saying I don't look at it as fondly as 2014's. It's got a little less shine for me.
Yeah.
That's
It's
kind of
fine.
middle ground there. It's a real
Yeah.
natty. It's just a
Yeah.
little less shiny because of that one.
It actually,
blemish.
in some ways, felt better because we were so down after that loss. There was no way to redeem yourself. It was an emotional roller coaster. You went that high and low and high and low. And when Jeremiah Smith comes and takes that ball and scores that touchdown after that bomb of a throw by Will Howard in the end zone against Tennessee, I was like, holy shit, this is the offense that we needed to in November. Where was that at? And
I was saying that the entire playoff.
It was beautiful. A thing of beauty. We're like, this is the team we want. This is the team we knew we had.
If only somebody would have picked you guys to win the national championship right after the Michigan game.
If only Ryan Day didn't piss down his leg when he sees that crap team.
And I think it's gone now. That whole mentality.
I hope
he knows it has to be.
I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. I hope
it's gone.
I hope we get 2019 Day in that game back. I want to see us beat them by 40. That'd be great.
Hey, you already covered the Sharon Moore stuff for me, so I don't got to go there for the planting the flag, so I can rip this card up. Don't need that anymore.
You're not chasing butterflies today. I like it.
Well, Sharon Moore also said that they were ready to put on a show.
Oh yeah. So what he did say was when asked about how you stop Jeremiah Smith, he said, "I'm not going to give out trade secrets." Basically, it wasn't exactly what he said. I'm not going to tell you how he do it for sure, but what I will tell you is you keep him from getting the ball, which they did, and maybe it wasn't just him keeping them from getting the ball. It was his own offensive game plan keeping them from getting the ball. They played right into anything. There was if you have any football acumen at all, you don't call those plays that they did.
But Steve, they threw 33 times. Well, when only 4 of them were attempted over 10 yards, what do you expect? We weren't
they were getting pressured. You got to give Michigan's defensive line credit.
Will Howard did have time to throw that ball deep more than a few times, and we just didn't dial it up. We just went.
Michigan. It's over. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm just getting fired up.
I just want to beat the fuck out.
Fired up. Yes. Yeah. I want that 100-0. Where's that 100-0?
I want. Mike's one of the more humble Wolverines I know, but there's a lot of them that need super
It's just that
humble.
I don't even. Well, me and Steve already had this conversation. I don't even care about the rivalry anymore.
Ew. I just don't understand.
Who are you?
Who is this guy?
What is MSU? Are we going back to circa 2017 Wolverine fans where they're like, we didn't even care about the Ohio State game.
No,
Sparty's our rival now. You
can ask Steve. What did I tell you even before the Michigan game?
It's just the playoffs. Yeah, he cares about the playoffs.
It's just the playoffs now. It's like college basketball. I look at it just like college basketball.
I hate that mindset. That's such a dog shit mindset.
In lieu of another commercial break, I am going to tell everyone, and I don't do this often, so please help me out before the season. Subscribe to our show, share our show, make a comment, get on Facebook, make a comment, get on Twitter, make a comment. Check us out on Instagram. Man, if you like it, the more you contribute to our stuff, the more we can contribute to you. So do it. Help us out. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe on YouTube. So even if you don't get on YouTube often, go over, hit that subscribe button, make a comment, make things better for us. We'll make it better for you. I promise. All right. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours and whatever. All right. So this has gone from Michigan to Ohio State to Michigan. Is there anything else that you guys want to conclude about the rest of the teams?
We got to talk.
You want to talk Minnesota? You want to talk?
We got to talk
Penn State.
Cignetti. Come on, we got to
Let's talk Cignetti.
Mr.
All right.
Cignetti. The heart and soul of the Big
talk
Ten.
Cignetti. Yeah,
the heart and soul of the Big Ten.
And then we got to talk about Penn State too. We definitely got to talk about that.
Let's start with Cignetti. Oh, before I forget, I did get to ask a couple questions. One of mine was probably a wasted question, but I just wanted to see how he reacted. I did ask Jeremiah Smith, which quarterback threw you the ball the most in practice? And he thought about it, repeated it, and I was like, I can't tell you that.
Smart kid.
And then, he knew. I thought maybe I'd trip him up a little bit.
It's saying. We know.
I agree.
He hasn't said anything publicly about
I wanted to fight for Keen Holtz. I wanted to fight for Lincoln because I want to see that underdog battle win it. The only chance he has is if he shows out when he gets his chance and saying make some turnovers. Turnovers are going to be the great equalizer. They always are. You turn the ball over. But either way, either quarterback that gets playing time, they're going to struggle in the first few games, which is bringing me back to Texas, 2005.
Yep.
It's going to be a game like that, I think. They're both going to get a couple possessions, I would imagine.
Well, this time we don't have Justin Zwick, so
that's true.
And we're not like keeping Troy Smith out of the game for no reason. So
correct. Yeah,
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Germany's Signetti, light up that cigarette. Let's go.
He's outstanding. He's outstanding.
Yeah. I love that guy.
He's a talking highlight reel. I love it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he is absolutely
the heart and soul of the Big Ten. Heart and soul.
You know what? Indiana's done everything right since this whole transition of college football. They're hitting the portal right. They spent the money on a coach. They have the second highest alumni base in the nation. Second highest. They have all kinds of money. They're investing in their program, and it is working well. This is a defining year. Like last year could have been like a one and done type of thing, but if they come on strong this year, recruiting's going up. The money that they're investing is going up. Everything's going up for Bloomington, man. And they got fan buy-in. They got university buy-in. They got a coach that's got confidence shooting out his ears when he's talking.
They got swagger. They got like their basketball.
They got the swag.
They got their basketball swagger for the football team now.
Yeah, and it's awesome, dude. I was there in the press box for that Washington Indiana game when game day was there. Absolute blast, dude. Absolute blast. And I was thinking to myself before the game started, I wish I was at Ohio State, covering Ohio State. I was there, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. That was awesome to see. I've never seen Bloomington like that. Every time I've seen it, it's been all Ohio State fans. It was amazing to see, and good for them. Good for them. Good for that fan base.
And I want to stick up for Signetti real quick. You know, the whole dropping Virginia and we want to take the SEC scheduling philosophy. I've had this argument with some SEC buddies of mine. I said, if this is Ohio State and you have Texas on the schedule and you lose to Texas, that's not going to hurt you that much because we got brand recognition, we got, past championships, blah blah blah. If you're Indiana and you lose to Texas, it doesn't really matter what you do the rest of the season. Everybody's going to look at you and be like, well, you lost to the best team you played. You suck. You're Indiana, blah, 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 blah. If you beat them, it's great. They might say it's a fluke, but Indiana has no winning here if they schedule good teams and then lose to them. If you lose to Virginia, they're going to look at you and be like, you don't deserve to be in. You lost to Virginia. So why not just play some nobodies and then hopefully have a good conference slate and then get in the playoff because you're like a 1-loss, 2-loss team.
They still want
you guys go. I gotta look something up. They put a recruit out of Columbus, Indiana.
They still think
I can't remember his name.
Alabama deserved to be in over Indiana last year.
No, of course. And anybody who says that is an idiot. If you are a 3-loss team, unless there's not enough 2 or less loss teams available, you do not deserve to play for a national championship.
No,
period.
So. The SEC last year played 43 non-Power 4 teams. The Big Ten with 2 more teams only played 40.
Yeah.
I think it was Franklin who said it the best. The Big Ten should go to an 8-game schedule.
Yeah, might as well. Why not?
Why play 9? It's like when I see these comments, this team plays Clemson and this team. Yeah, Indiana plays Ohio State then, or Indiana plays Oregon then. Because if you're going to take their 9th game and count Clemson in these games, then take Indiana's, count Ohio State, and just say, okay, Indiana plays Ohio State. Who do you play the next
Henry? It's Henry
the next
Olinger.
3 games?
He's out of in the heart of Columbus, Grandview Heights High School. My brother-in-law is actually the guidance counselor there, which I think they call it something other than a guidance counselor, but I don't know what that is. But, dude, Heartline came and visited him after he had committed to Indiana, and it was like, yo, we want you now. I don't know how bad they wanted him, whether that it was a committable offer or anything, but he stuck with Indiana because Indiana recruited him hard the longest. Hey, picked Indiana over the University of Miami, over the U.
And look at Indiana's schedule this year. They got Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State. You're 3-0 there, right? Then you got Illinois, who's supposed to be really good, returns the most starters of anybody in the conference, so that could be a loss. Then you
their entire offensive line. They returned their entire offensive line and Altmaier.
Yeah, and then you follow that up with at Iowa. So and then
if that's a night, that's a terrible place to play a night.
Yeah, and then you go bye week, and then you're at Oregon, and then MSU, UCLA, at Maryland, and then at Penn State, Wisconsin, bye week, Purdue, at Purdue.
Well, they don't have an easy schedule. This
is not going to be 11-1 for Indiana this year, so it's good that they have those nobodies in the first 3 games to give them some cushion. They don't. That's a program that can't afford to lose any games, because they lose one. You saw last year, everybody was like, "Oh, they lost to Ohio State. They shouldn't be in the playoff." Well, they're 11-1.
And they played a great game against Ohio State.
Alex, you said it the best. It doesn't matter what they do. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. Yep. So win as many games as you can, schedule some cupcakes. And
if you're Georgia, if you're Ohio State, if you're Michigan, if you're Oregon, you can afford to lose 1 or 2 games. These other small schools, you can't afford to lose a game.
Yeah, but they need to win.
Also, like Day said, it's a different playing field. You can't just compare them. They're not the same. They're just not the same.
The 8 games and the 9 games.
Mathematically, it's not the same. Like Franklin said, and that was a question for me that spurred him to answer that way about being maybe the worst decision the Big Ten's ever made by going to 9 games. I asked him about out-of-conference schedule. He went into that. Franklin was fun to talk to.
Franklin's awesome. When you see him,
remember when he said, "You're making me uncomfortable"? He kind of makes me uncomfortable when I'm talking to him, because he's like staring at you, answering the whole time. Nothing off to the side ever. No blinks, no nothing. It's just straight at you answering the question, which is great to have that eye contact. But I was just like, dude, this is a long-winded answer. Just look away once and we'll be good.
He's got to learn to have tougher skin, though. I can't keep seeing him attack fans that nag at him. It's like,
I understand that. I understand that. To his respect, but he's got to be bigger and just
or else he's the only one getting in his way at this point.
But like they said,
if you win, they'll leave you alone.
If you get, let's say, Petiti said it. He was like, "You're guaranteed to have 9 extra losses in the league, guaranteed, because you have 9 game schedule." It's not the same, same at all. It dilutes your schedule by playing 9 games when someone else is playing 8. Because, unless you're a winless Auburn, unless you're Auburn and lose to, New Mexico State?
Yeah, the SEC, I think they lost.
You're not losing those games. So you get automatically an extra win for everyone in the conference compared to
unless you're like Mississippi State, who loses to Toledo, then you are. But you're already bad enough anyway. You're losing
Auburn
10
Auburn
more
lost
after.
at home to
New Mexico State
Aggies. Yeah.
And they paid him $1 million.
But that's 16 extra wins a season compared to another conference.
It gets them a lot more bowl teams, because you get that free win unless you.
It also
gets you
artificially rated higher.
Yeah.
It gets you a lot more ranked teams.
Yep.
Because then the Big Ten has those 9.
Look at Lane Kiffin.
9 losses.
What has he done?
That's where, in the past, if you had a good team that was doing great, you had a Minnesota that was doing good, you had a Wisconsin that was doing good, you had the Indianas of the world and the Illinois of the world now doing good. They get that extra loss because they travel to Purdue and can't make it, or they travel to Indiana, go to Kinnick Stadium, can't make it. All of a sudden, they're not ranked anymore, because AP drops anyone in the Big Ten that's middle of the road quicker than anyone else.
And vice versa, they just bump up a SEC team for like Alabama. Oh, they're playing Kentucky this week. Well, Kentucky's just magically number 24 this week.
Look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt ended up ranked for beating Alabama, who I still think Miller was hurt, but they lost to some no-name team 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
If that was Indiana and they lost to a no-name team, you wouldn't even see them anywhere near the AP top 25.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about playoff design. Petiti wants that 4-4-2-2-1. Like SEC gets 4 automatic. Big Ten gets 4 automatic, and they're not getting away from that unless the SEC goes to 9 games. Then you can talk, and then they want that play-in game. Well, what I was reading today or listening to today, I can't remember, was they want that for the extra dollars. They want that play-in game, but I love the play-in game. I just don't want it formatted like a tournament. I want to see who's actually number 1 and number 2. I want to see 2 versus 3, and I want to see 3 versus 4, and I want to see 5 versus 6. All right. So 1 and 2 automatically go in. They're automatically qualifiers. 2 versus 3 gives you a shot. You're not available for being a selection. unless you win that game. And same thing with 5 versus 6. You probably won't get a bid.
Well, wouldn't it be 3 versus 6, 5 versus 4, and the winner of both 2 games get in?
I don't want the 3 versus. I want 3 versus 4, 5 versus 6, because I want to have actually
like
the
play-in type stuff.
Because that would be you would need in the play-in game. If you go down to 8 games to match the SEC, then you could do those play-in games that would make more sense.
I want anything that gets rid of a committee.
We don't need playing. I don't even care that there's a committee. Here's what I have a problem with. I don't like the guaranteed 4 for SEC.
I don't like
Big
4
Ten.
guarantees, but the Big Ten has to stay with it unless
because what the
equal.
Because what the SEC wants is they want the 5-11 format, which is fine.
They want the extra win.
But the problem is
more guys in.
Yeah, they want to get like 7 or 8 teams in. What needs to happen is there needs to be guidelines set that no conference gets like this many teams in. No, there's no guarantees of anything. If there's 3 or 4 Big 12 teams that have the record deserve to be in, and there's nobody else to put them in over, they deserve to be in. If the Big 12 has more teams than the Big 10 or SEC some year, fine. They earned that.
The problem is it's always going to be the same argument that it has been since the playoff of most deserving versus best.
All right, and that's why
win your games.
It's a stupid argument because it should be like any other sport. You win on the field, you get in. Indiana won on the field, they get in.
Games.
That's why I said you got to get rid of.
This is how we solve it, though.
You got to get rid of the committee.
If both the SEC and the Big Ten go down to 8 games, 8 conference games, then you have the play-in game. 1 versus 2 automatically get in. 2 versus 3 are playing for an at-large bid. Both of them have a chance, but unless the committee wants them, they have to decide. Also, 5 versus 6, just in case there's someone really good down there where 3 and 4 are getting in, still play, and they have a chance at an at-large bid. They don't have to be taken. SEC does the same thing. ACC does the same thing. Big 12 does the same thing. So
what I would love to see would be each conference figure out who you're sending. The Power 4 conference, each champion.
No, because it's going to be
the
equal across the board.
And then they play.
Oh, the conference decides?
Yeah, the Big 10 gets 1 spot, ACC gets 1 spot, Big 12, SEC, and those 4 teams are going to play for a national championship. Because my problem with the SEC,
I want more broad. I want more football.
I like more teams. I wanted it at 8.
16 is the most I want to go.
I thought 8 was perfect.
Fine.
8 would have been. Well, think about it. You still get more games. Each conference would have their own playoff system.
There we go. Tyler Davis.
So you could have.
Thanks for joining us.
You could have 4 or 5 games to decide each conference.
One of the first things that needs to happen is the group of 5 needs to be forced into their own thing. They need to play their own playoff. They need to play for their own national title. Make it just the Power 4. That's the division.
I like that. I like having the possibility of Cinderella.
It's not college
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Too many moving parts. If in college basketball, you can have Seth Curry, who's going to come out, shoot the lights out, and carry you to a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 and lose.
Not anymore. You won't.
You're not going to have that in football. Well, you're not going to have it anymore because the transfer portal killed that.
Yeah.
Anybody who's any good is going to transfer from these schools now.
Well, we can still have Cinderellas. I mean, it's still going to happen. It probably just won't happen as often.
No,
I want to keep that. I do. I hate that. Like, because if you end up having that one team that figures out a way to get it together, like the UCF of the world,
to me, there's too many
Boise States
parts
of the world. No, you got to keep 1 or 2. If it goes to 16, I want 2.
Well, I've also said I would like college. If you did that, if you took group of 5 and made it the real thing, I would like it to be like how soccer is, where the best teams from that year move up, and the worst teams select a few teams from the Power 4 conferences that were the worst, move them
relegate.
down.
That would be awesome.
It's just not going to work.
It would be hard.
No team's gonna. These conferences aren't gonna go for that just because.
With recruiting, it would be very hard. It's not
if you
like
push
the
Northwestern
TV
out of the Big Ten for a year.
The TV deals.
Yeah, it would be harder to do with that. But regardless, There no playing. As much as I like more football, playing games are stupid. I see it in the NBA, and I'm a Miami Heat fan. It's benefited me for the last 2 or 3 years. I hate it though.
Is because
it's
listen,
pointless.
This is different. Like we got to think how much things have changed. You have 18 teams in the Big Ten now. It's going to be really hard to get a equivalent schedule, even if they try.
It's
They're
impossible.
not going to get an equivalent schedule. That's why you need that. That's why you need those playing games in order to make it. All right, this team is really better. Like, let's just say we have a year where Ohio State has 2 losses, Indiana has 2 losses, but Indiana's games are like Rutgers, Minnesota.
Did they play that year already?
Yeah.
If they did, you already know who's better.
Probably
you already
not.
know who's better. Well,
no, I mean,
let's look at who the records of the Big Ten teams last year. There was only 3 teams in the Big Ten that had 2 or less losses.
Well, look at Rutgers' schedule last year. They played
4 teams. I'm sorry, 4 teams, and all 4 made it.
But if you look at Rutgers' schedule, and they had a great year last year, let's just say they won everything on their schedule. They didn't play any of the big boys, not one. They didn't play Penn State. They didn't play Ohio State. They didn't play Michigan, and they didn't play.
So you're saying Rutgers goes 12-0, but they play none of the big dogs.
Okay, they're no one. Yeah,
and you put them at 11.
No, because they win the Big Ten.
Oh, if they win the Big Ten, I mean that's different.
I mean,
but
if they play someone in the Big Ten, but have a play-in game for them.
But let's just say.
But listen, look. 2 other teams are 1 loss in the Big Ten. You have Oregon or Penn State. Oregon and Penn State have 1 loss.
Okay.
Rutgers was undefeated.
Okay.
So then, who's 2?
Well, who did Rutgers beat? Who did Rutgers beat in the Big Ten title game? Because they played one of the big dogs then, right?
Well, they lose.
Oh, they lose in the Big Ten title game. Well, so they're
those in. And
they're
then
12
then there's someone with 2
so they're 12-1. Why don't they deserve to be in? If there's a spot
Rutgers would become Indiana.
Yeah.
And the argument would be, is it best or most deserving?
Yeah.
If the spot came down to Indiana Rutgers?
No, I'm saying if that happened in his scenario, Rutgers just takes Indiana's spot like last year. And all you're going to hear about for the next 6 months is how Rutgers didn't deserve to be in because they had 1 loss.
But a better team would have got left out. Is all I'm saying. Like somewhere.
Not necessarily.
Well, it depends on how it plays out with everyone.
Yeah, I mean that's every year, but like you can't just change the format every year to accommodate certain things.
No, that's why
like
I think you have the play-in game so you get the better team at that 3 and 4.
That's just an unnecessary extra game that gets somebody hurt, and then it's
just
a money grab thing.
I just hate the narrative.
But you're playing a championship game anyway. You might as well have everyone else play too, so we know who's the best. If you're playing 1 versus 2, you might as well do 3
so
versus
then just
4. Why not?
Do a Big Ten playoff. The top
I don't like
teams,
that either.
If
Ohio State is 10-2 and they got a playoff spot wrapped up no matter what, and we have to play a playing game and lose and get bumped out because we have 3 losses, I'm going to be pissed. There's no point.
You got to win the game. If you're not going to win that game, you're not going to win the playoffs either.
We lost 2 games last year in the regular season, won the playoff. We lost the last game of the year and won the playoff.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like,
but I mean, you have
we
to
did. We looked.
That time. That's the end of the year.
We didn't peak. We didn't peak at the last game of the year, did we? But then we peaked after that because we had a come to Jesus meeting. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're 10-2, let's say we lose to Texas and team up north this year, like I think we will, and then we have to play a playing game because we didn't go to Indy, and then we lose, then we're out of playoff because we have 3 losses.
Damn it, Alex. You just stole my thunder. I want those playing games, man. I think they would be nice.
The playing game.
I think that's the only way to resolve. That's the only
teams.
way. It was the only way to resolve. Yes, there's going to be times like that it does, but I mean, you can't have the perfect scenario. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, look at it last year though. Every team that made it deserved to be in. It was just seeded wrong. That's it.
Yeah.
And we fixed that because now it's going to go by playoff rank and not what they did with the guarantees at 1 through 4 and 5.
And yeah, and that was stupid.
So Boise's going to be 12th now.
They wanted to keep the season meaningful, like college football has always been.
It still is. You just get a little more cushion to lose now, especially if you're a bigger team. But but back to Indiana, if you're Indiana, no matter what, whether
You
it's
gotta be
14,
perfect.
12 team, 16, you got to win games. So why schedule Virginia when you can just go get a free win against Kennesaw State or whomever?
I agree with that. So this is my point. How do we solve the 8 versus 9 game conference schedule?
Play 8. Just
Play 8.
Play 8.
But then you don't know who wins the conference. Like you just got rid of a conference. Like no conference titles ever matter anymore.
Conference titles matter.
You're not going to know who won the title. Who wins the title? If you're only, it's only 8 games in the conference. And
well, the SEC picks a champion every year. That's what the tiebreakers are for.
Listen, I think
18
as
teams.
The playoff
artificial
expands,
title.
I don't think conference titles are going to mean what they used to.
They don't really now. I mean,
no.
I'd be okay with getting rid of conference championship games altogether because, you know, at the end of the day, you could still have the tiebreakers and just crown a champion based off that if you wanted to. But we have the conference championship games. They choose a sole winner. We have the tiebreakers. Like
if 1 and 2 are playing, why not have 3 and 4 play?
In my scenario this year, I got Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State finishing all 8-1 conference play. And by tiebreakers, Oregon gets eliminated. So you get a rematch between Ohio State and Penn State in Indianapolis. You got the tiebreakers for that. Oregon's still going to make the playoff, and they're going to be like, hey, well, sucks we didn't get to win the conference, but we're going to make the playoff because we're 11-1. Great for us. We get to go win the Natty now. Or try to win the Natty because Oregon never wins that. So
when it comes crashing down, it hurts inside.
So it's just like
Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Oregon's going to be like, well, we're already in the playoff. Why do we want to like risk getting a second loss and getting seeded lower? Or if they're a 2-loss team, why do we want to play an extra game so we can maybe lose it and then have 3 losses and get bounced out completely? If I'm Oregon, I'm like, I
don't think conferences would let playing games because the fact that you can lose one of your bigger teams,
Oregon gets bounced out. Ohio State could get bounced out, and then it's like, well, fuck, no, that's not good.
I mean, before you could get bounced out when you go to play Purdue on the road and get waxed.
Well, we all know in a 12-team playoff we make that format, and 4-team you still had no margin, just like the BCS. It was only 2 teams, right? If you lose one game, you're probably out anyway. Your season's over. It's 14 playoffs, same thing.
I like 12. I think it worked out perfectly.
I think 8 would have been the best.
8 would have been the best. 12 is fine. I think if we go to 16, it's probably
going to be watered down.
16, I worry about 3-loss teams getting in. That's why I've said it since
they were talking 4-loss teams.
No, and it can't happen. I said it since.
Mentioned it was Petiti. He was like, "Hey, in 8-4 at that record,
what an idiot!
Sport, you're in the playoffs. You're in the postseason."
That's a totally different scenario in the NFL and stuff like that. Screw that.
And I don't ever want to see a 4-loss team.
I've said it since before the playoffs ever even started in 2014. I said there has to be guidelines in place where certain conferences aren't getting exponentially more teams in than the other just because the media likes them more. And anybody who's a 3-loss or more team should never even be in the conversation unless there's not enough 2 or less loss teams. And then you have to put a 3-loss in.
But at some point,
there's scenarios where
if
I think
they
it's
expand,
okay.
they're going to expand again.
Like,
they're going to expand again.
I'm sorry. Clemson shouldn't there was probably a team to put in over Clemson last year. I'd have to look if there was a 2-loss team that got left out. But Clemson I know they won their conference, but like, hey, you won like the worst conference. You're a 3-loss team. Do you really deserve to be in there? Probably not. So I don't know. That's just me.
There's one other subject I got to bring in before we get out of here, and I'm gonna try. There's one other subject I got to bring in, and let me see if I can pull it up. If you guys got something to talk about real quick, I might even show the video on here.
I'm looking at these rankings right now.
What rankings?
The final rankings from last year for the play. So yeah, Clemson was 10-3.
Yeah, but that's after the playoff. They were 10-2.
I'm almost positive they finished with 4 losses because they got in with 3.
I thought they got in with 2 and then they lost.
Hold on. I'm looking. Yeah, they finished with 4 losses because they lost to South Carolina, Louisville, and Georgia game 1. So they were a 3-loss team. You could have put, like, even though Miami lost that last game of the year, they were 10-2. They probably should have got that spot no matter what anyway. Like, hey, Clemson, congratulations. You faced SMU and beat them because of head-to-head. But, like,
well, first, NCAA we're great partners, right? We are separate entities.
You guys hear that?
However, we work with NCAA. I'm part of the FB Soccer Football Bowl Subdivision Oversight Committee, so I'm a part of that committee. So we abide by NCAA rules. They are the governing body. Our commissioners also are going to, manage this whole process with us. So there certainly could be a situation where a school lost a trophy. So I will not say it'll never happen. However, it would be my decision. That is not in my governance structure, not in my contract. All this stuff.
So
that's a very different. That's a very different sentiment than what they said before, where they were like,
they abide by the NCAA's policies, and he is actually part of the college football playoff. He's the governance part, and he would make that decision. And he did say,
didn't he say it's not my decision at the end?
No, he said it is my decision.
No, he said it's not my decision.
No, he said it is his decision.
Play it again.
Replay it.
I thought he said it's not my decision.
And then it cuts out. It is his decision. And he's not. He doesn't want to do it, is what he was saying. But it is his decision.
It is interesting because that wasn't the CFP committee's stance before before they let the team up north even play in that playoff. They were like, we're our own entity, blah, 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 blah. We're going to let them play in it. We're not going to keep them out of it. And now they're saying,
so give me a second.
Now they're saying, well, the NCAA, they are the governing body. What they say goes.
Right. This guy is the college football playoff executive director, Rich Clark. He confirmed that it can be lifted.
Yeah, they can take it away.
That's what I've told Wolverine fans the entire time.
He did say
they can take it away.
Yeah.
I told Wolverine fans, they're like, oh, well, they're a separate entity, so the NCAA can do whatever they want, but our trophy's not getting taken away. I said,
all right,
the BCS was a separate entity too.
So it's going to play right away. So
we're great partners, right? We are a separate entity. However, we work with NCAA. I'm part of the FB Soccer Football Bowl Subdivision Oversight Committee, so I'm a part of that committee. So we abide by NCAA rules. They are the governing body. Our commissioners also are going to, manage this whole process with us. So there certainly could be a situation where a school lost a trophy. So I will not say it'll never happen. However, it would be my decision. That
it wouldn't be his decision. Which means somebody above him would make that decision, probably the NCAA or whatever. Yeah, the BCS was a separate entity too, and guess what? They still took USC's trophy.
That's very interesting. I mean, that guy, he sounded like he doesn't want that to ever happen, but it would be his decision to make.
Whatever it is, what it is.
I want your trophy to get taken away so bad.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I want it.
I want it away too. And not because I dislike you, Mike. You're like one of the very, very few I respect, but the rest of them that need absolutely humbled.
Actually, I've met a lot of Michigan fans that I respect. I think it's just you're meeting the fringe. There's fringes in every fan base, and the fringes are the loudest.
Steve, I've had Wolverine fans.
Listen, Steve's
and
right.
Wolverine fans have had the same too.
It doesn't matter. There's trolls on all sides.
Y'all got a lot of them.
Yeah, and so does Ohio State. If
so
you're
much,
sit here,
so much so.
If you're going to sit here as one of the biggest fan bases and say that you don't have just as many trolls,
we probably do.
No, not probably. You do.
We probably do.
Yeah,
not probably. You do.
When you got Wolverine fans going to my personal Facebook, taking pictures of my deceased dog and making porn memes out of them, that's fucked up. And that's
so is uttering death threats to a coach's family and kids after a loss.
Yeah, and that's not.
So let's be honest. Every fan base has the same.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of
and they're across the nation.
It's just fuck your fans the most.
Yeah, that's
you
just
just
you don't
take
like us, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like for me
It's
personally,
understandable.
I just want this done. Like me and Steve had this talk. I don't care what it is.
I want it to drag on.
I don't
for another
care.
2 years.
I don't care what it is.
I want to keep talking about this. I want it to go forever.
If I ever see you, I'm gonna kick you so hard in your your jaw's gonna
I want
swell.
to see this face from Mike Germanese for another 2 years. And we got to talk about this in the offseason again.
Well, because you know what it is. For 2 years, I've been hearing from everybody. Oh, tomorrow's going to be the hammer. Tomorrow's going to be the hammer. Tomorrow's going to be.
And on the opposite side, Wolverine fans,
where it's just like they're going to get banned. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Jesus is going to come down and rip their souls out. Like at some point, just give me the punishment. Hopefully, they take it and it's done.
And on the opposite end of it, Wolverine fans, the longer this takes, it goes. They just keep mocking Ohio State fans because they're like, "Oh, is the hammer in the room with us?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait. I just want it. I want it to happen. I want it to happen so we can be like, oh, the hammer's in the room now, isn't it? It's in the room now."
Now you know what I feel bad for? Weapons if it doesn't come.
Then God hates Ohio State.
You don't even want to think about
God hates Ohio State. God loves to team up north for some awful reason, and justice just never gets served. And then the NCAA, they might as well write the signature on the death warrant because they won't be a part of FBS college football anymore. Well, they cannot afford to not punish you harshly. They can't.
This man is the leader.
They're not going to be a part of college football anymore very soon, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they are.
Hey,
no, they won't.
Yeah, they will. Right. If they punish you harshly, they will.
No,
you guys are both muted. I got complete control. Doug Shepard Sr. is in the house. Are you going to be at open practices? I don't know, Doug. Doug, if you have Twitter or Facebook, something along those lines, shoot me a direct message, and we got to talk about it anyway. All right, man? I'd like to get a hold of you. So, leader of our locker room, he is the one that gets on here the most, and this is something new starting the next season. Actually, it's starting now. The football season has started. The more you contribute to our locker room via the comments, or even posting, sharing, commenting on our social medias, the more that you're going to have a chance to win some merchandise this year. So Doug's already got himself a locker room hat. It hasn't been delivered. Hasn't even been ordered yet, to be honest with you. But he's going to get one when they do get ordered. All right. You boys are back in the show. So contribute to our locker room, and it eventually will be our message board when we get that up on our website.
I like you do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we are a product of the fans. Like, this is supposed to be a fan-based podcast. We're supposed to be engaging with the fans. We want their comments, man. The thing about college football is the fans are so interactive. They have a lot of knowledge in the game. And I want to contribute that to our show, to our outlet, to everything that we have. And Doug's one of the best in the business.
And then there's a lot of them that don't know ball, that talk a lot.
That's true too. Yeah. But Doug is not one of those, man. I can lean on him for anything. If I asked him a stat right now, he'd look it up and put it on there. Hey, Doug, who won the Big Ten in 1974? Give it a couple minutes. He'll probably have it up here.
Probably a team up north.
I'm trying to think too.
Michigan State.
Was it Michigan State?
I'm guessing, but I think Michigan State won some championship back then. I think.
I'm calling Doug out, and now he's not going to do it. Come on, Doug, you should have this by now. I know you.
Oh, I was half right.
It's usually Buckeye stuff. Did you look it up already?
Yeah, I was half right. It was us and them. Ohio State team up north.
Oh, really?
Yep. Figures.
There we go. Figures. Jerry David came in with it. There we go, Jerry.
Always linked.
Yeah, he was half right. He was half right.
So are we going to do an early prediction of who wins the Big Ten this year?
I think we have to. Yeah, that's how we close out the show.
Oh, wait. Did you want to talk Penn State, you said?
Yeah, let's touch on them a little bit because they're the ones that are apparently winning.
Pick.
They're apparently the ones winning the national championship this year.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
1-15.
1-15.
Until I see better than 1-15.
Champs. There we go. I knew Doug would come with it. Go Champs.
Yep.
Until I see better than 1-15, I can't pick James Franklin.
Listen, people, including Wolverine fans especially, said about Ryan Day, he'll never win you a national championship. He's too soft. He's not that great of a coach, blah, 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 blah. And then he did. You just can never say never, especially even when it comes to James Franklin.
I never said never. I said
I know. As much of a choke artist as he is, he's got the recipe down. He's got a lot back. And he's got the best roster, probably, to be honest with you. He got a lot of wide receiver help and all that good stuff. Like I said earlier, I think it's a 3-way tie for the top, us, Oregon, and Penn State. And I think by tiebreaker, Oregon gets left out.
You gotta watch out for Illinois, man.
Because let's be honest.
I know. But I have them at two conference losses. So they just barely missed the cut. I have them at 10-2. But I think,
and they got Ohio State at home.
Yeah. So I think we get a
trap game for sure.
We get a rematch. We win the regular season against Penn State. And because we finally make it back to Indy, which we've been robbed of, cheated out of, you know the story, Mike. We finally reclaim our crown and win the Big Ten. Now, mind you, this is after I said that we lose to the team up north in Texas this year. Because until I see us beat the team up north, I can't pick us to beat them.
Beating Penn State, losing to Michigan, losing to Texas. It's interesting.
Yep, we bookend the season with losses, and then we go to
Texas
Indianapolis.
Offensive line can handle Ohio State's defensive line. The more I'm thinking about it,
Where's Oregon's 2 losses?
Oregon has 1. They lose to Penn State at Penn State. That's the whiteout. That's their first whiteout. They're not going to handle that well. Dante Moore's not going to handle that well. So that's and Penn State's 1 losses to us. So we're a 2-loss team. Those 2 are 1-loss teams, but conference wise, we only have 1 loss each. And by tiebreaker, because we beat Penn State beat Oregon, tiebreakers would kick Oregon out. Ohio State, Penn State play each other in Indy, and we continue to beat James Franklin like we always do because he chokes.
Yeah. Replace can't with haven't, Doug says. They haven't done it yet in Penn State. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
They very well could. They very well could.
I talked about this before on our last show. How many wins did Ryan Day have? They said he couldn't win the big game until he did.
Yeah. His record against top 5 teams wasn't great until that playoff.
It was atrocious before the playoff run. Yeah. And even top 10 teams, it wasn't great.
Now, I will say Ryan Day is a lot better of a coach than James Franklin. If Ryan Day could just beat the team up north again, that man would be virtually spotless in anybody's eyes. But until he does that, he's going to have that against him every single year. James Franklin just has a lot against him, and he wouldn't even have a Big Ten title if it weren't for special teams blunders on our part, to be honest with you.
That's one of the things, actually, Doug brought this up. Oregon at Penn State will be can't miss television. Absolutely. There is no question about that. That is one you cannot miss.
I honestly
brought it up, and I really enjoyed that. He said Franklin was like, if you are a college football fan, you have to go to a whiteout. It's like nothing else. He said, he mentioned Urban Meyer was one that brought it up. He also mentioned someone else. I can't remember who else he said that brought it up about the night game being just the best of the best. He said someone rated it right up there with LSU. Oh, I think it was Urban Meyer. He said,
but we play him at noon all the time anymore.
That's what I was going to say. I find it funny the last few years it's been Michigan should have been the whiteout noon. Ohio State should have been the whiteout noon.
Washington gets it. Oregon gets it.
And now Oregon gets it.
Big noon kickoff. Thanks.
Yeah, Ohio State has to do something. It was electric at Tennessee. I just reposted a picture from me on the field, or a video. It went viral automatically. I was like, take me back to this.
Now granted,
drive home safely. It was awesome.
Do I like avoiding the whiteout? I love avoiding the whiteout because 100%. That makes it less hard. But as a fan who wants to go to it at least once, I just want it to be the night game one more time, one whiteout for Ohio State, just so I can go to it and then never happen again.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Never happened.
It was a loss. It was when Troy Smith and them lost to Penn State.
05.
And it was the absolute best experience I've ever had at Ohio State.
They have the best atmosphere in college football when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
My gosh. Toughest place to play in the country. Screw Baton Rouge. Toughest place to play in the country.
I want to go to Baton Rouge too. I like college football environments in general. In fact, I travel
go there
one
too.
every year in away game.
I might
It's
actually
what
go
makes-
to that Oregon Penn State game just to say I went.
What makes college football special is the home, the atmosphere around these places.
All
We're
right,
getting robbed
boys.
of a night game against Texas.
Is there something else? We got to make these picks because I have duties. There is a daughter and her friend coming over to stay the night. So
you said Penn State. I said Ohio State. Mike,
I'm gonna go Oregon, and then Oregon wins the Big Ten again.
Back. Okay.
But I think I'm gonna agree with Alex. Oregon gets the boot in the playoff, and I think Penn State's gonna get it done. They're built.
Who wins the national title then?
Penn State. Penn State's built like Michigan was 2 years ago, and Ohio State was last year.
Yeah. All right.
I think they're going to prove the Big Ten.
I wouldn't be mad
as the
about
recipe.
It. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd root for, if we get eliminated, I'll root for Penn State the rest of the way. I have no qualms about that.
As long as the Big Ten wins the national championship, I don't care who wins it.
He said
I do. I don't want you to win it.
That's fine.
Anybody else is fine.
But I'm different. I picked
anybody else is fine.
I picked you guys.
Franklin mentioned
after
in the Big Ten. Hey, in the Big Ten media days, Franklin did mention, he was like, I kind of compare it to that era where everyone was doing one and dones in basketball, and you had those teams that kept around experience were winning titles and blowing those one and dones out, like why Kentucky just all of a sudden dropped off after a while. It's the same thing, man. Experience wins, but elite experience wins.
Big Ten has money. The programs have money.
They can keep their rosters intact.
It's like I told you before, what changed? The SEC dominated for 20 years, and then July 1st, what was it? 2021 came about, and all of a sudden, within 3 years, their dominance is gone. What changed?
Money.
What maintained that dominance for 20 years?
Yeah.
That in 3 years, it all of a sudden goes away with July 1st when NIL came out.
Yep. Dude, it's different. It's different up here. There's more bigger
why you
cities.
have
There's
this,
more teams in bigger cities with bigger
now.
alumni bases.
When have you ever heard about schedules?
Never. Didn't matter.
It's the SEC narrative.
The SEC narrative. They're climbing back. They're trying to claw back up in here, but they're not getting it.
Let's
Big
hope
Ten's going to do it again. And if it's not the Big Ten, if it's not Penn State, I got Clemson.
I think it's Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. That's my basic white girl pick.
I'm going to go Georgia as long as they don't have to have their players drive there.
Yeah. Or get around.
It's got to be far away. They got to take a plane flight.
Or get around people in general because now they're starting to.
If they have to drive there themselves, they might not make it.
Now they're going to aggravated battery charges now, so they're expanding their scope. So.
Got to do something. Oh man, that's awful. Who got an aggravated battery?
Culture. I forget his name. Somebody did. It was battery or domestic violence or something, but it was beating somebody, which I'm just like, and all those players are going to play. They're not going to get reprimanded or anything. That culture down there is nuts. It is toxic nuts.
And out of that, I got to say goodbye. It was a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yep.
Mike,
as always.
No problem. It was nice seeing you boys again. Alex.
Yep. Nice
God bless everyone.
Buddy.
Have a good weekend. Like, share, subscribe. Hit us up, man. Comments are always welcome on social media and on our show. Have a great evening. God bless. We're out.
Go Bucks.